Fine, Chambers County Commissioner Court come to order. It's Thursday, 15th day of December, 2022. Scheduled meeting at 2 p.m. It's now 2:05 p.m. For the record, Commissioner Combs is not present and advised that he won't be here. They told him he only had one report left, so he was going to make a special. This is retiring the year. We have one item. This is a special call meeting. And one item discuss, consider awarding bid for temporary women's dormitory project. Sheriff George is taking that.
I'll start, Judge. I just want to make sure the court knows I did invite the two submissions, which is NNT Construction and S&P. Okay, and they are here. They have a representative. I did also invite HOK because a lot of the confusion or some of the confusion is the way HOK presented some of this stuff. So they did let me know they could not make it. And just giving you the heads up that if we need them, we can call them. Okay, so that's where we're at. So again, and I'm going to turn it over to either the sheriff or Commissioner Hammond, because Commissioner Hammond is the one that's been dealing with this process. He has been our commissioner on the committee.
Yeah, and also our consultant, Carl Griffith, is available by phone too if we need him.
I think we should probably call Carl in. He's really, he's on just advising me.
Carl's on? Okay.
Yeah, I'm on.
Carl, can you hear?
Y'all hear me? Yes, sir. Can you
And can you speak to us?
can you hear me? Hello? Well,
I'll text him.
I hear you.
We've been on meetings all day long. We've had four lighting problems.
Yeah,
I'm on.
can y'all please state y'all's names and who y'all are with, so kind of know who I'm talking. Marty, Charlie,
Gabby with NNT Construction.
And I'm John Marshall.
Yes. John Marshall, S&P.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for bidding. All right, Sheriff, Commissioner, whichever one you want to take the lead on that.
Well, I will.
Commissioners, here's what's important to me. Can you hear me? Is the mic working?
yes.
Okay. The only thing that matters to me is we are at a crossroad where everybody from Austin to my personnel we're in the spotlight of got to get something going because we're in a bind with the Texas Commission on Jail Standards. So this is about getting this thing rolling. And I only say that because what's going to happen or what I'm worried about happening is us ending up in what's called a remedial order because we're overcrowded and we're at the standstill. And I don't think we're at a standstill, but obviously because of circumstances and situations, if you're in Austin, Texas, it probably looks like we're at a standstill. And I don't want to end up on a remedial order that is definitely, so we've got to make some decisions. Somebody's got to be building this facility and getting it rolling to get us out of the bind that we're in. And they've given us a 30 more additional beds. So it is. I just need a contractor that can put full force into this thing and get it built. And I know the generator seems to be a big issue. Myself and our consultant Carl Griffith, we have talked to multiple people that have the ability to get us a generator, even if we have to just rent it to get the facility open, because there is about a year lag time on getting 100K plus generators, but we can rent them all day long. And if we just need to go out and get a long-term 1-year rental until the new one arrives, we just need to get it. The only thing a generator's got to be able to run for an hour and a half without needing to be fueled. And that's easy to find. So that's where I stand.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thanks, Brian.
Y'all can't hear me?
What you got for us?
I got some questions. So George, these bid numbers are public knowledge now?
Yes, sir. Those bid
Okay.
numbers are the ones that we opened at the bid opening. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what's in front of you.
So this is where we sit right now with the bids as they are. S&P come in at $3,750,000. So And N&T come in at $3,250,000. So there's $500,000 difference there starting out. So just I assume everybody's looked at those numbers. So I had a couple questions for both y'all. I'll start with N&T. You didn't turn in.
Come up to the mic, please.
Lawrence,
Can you give me a copy of the?
that's what I do.
Get
Well,
the bid tab sheet.
Just give him a copy of.
Get the bid tab sheet, that's that shows both numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So that's.
That's one and twos and the other. one. That's true. Think
Yeah.
it is?
Go ahead, Tom. No, Commissioner, I'm sorry.
So on alternate two, the smoke evacuation system, you turned in no bid on that. So just kind of curious why that was, because it was included in the bid package.
Okay, well, they called for us to design the smoke control system. And as a contractor, we don't have professional liability. The plans and the specs or the specifications doesn't call for us to have professional liability. And I'm sure when y'all have someone design or hire an architect or an engineer, y'all ask them to have professional liability. We don't have that. We don't want to take the liability on it. And we felt it should be a value engineer type item that we could look at after the bid. So that's kind of how we approached that, simply because we felt the architect, should have probably designed it themselves. That's now also in our bid, we attached another alternate. There's an HVAC design they wanted us to bid. Okay, and we attached another page because the bid form only has 2 alternates listed.
Correct.
Now, there's actually 3 alternates in the plan specs and addendums, and there's also 3 unit prices. So to try to be responsive to the bid, we included the attached sheet of alternates. Again, we no bid the HVAC design to alternate 3 because it would require us to engineer it and stamp it. And we're, like I said, that's not what we do. We bid this job as a contractor bidding a full set of drawings that were architecturally designed and engineered mechanically and electrically. So, that's what we're bidding on. We're not bidding to be a design professional. So we said, hey, well, in our statement there, it says that we'll look at that, after the bid and we'll VE it. And if the architect approves what we come up with, and they accept it, then they can stamp it and incorporate it into their drawings. They would put their bid on
Can
it.
you hear me?
So we wouldn't have to be the engineer
Can you hear me?
of record and take that liability.
Button,
And that's how we approach that.
Sorry.
can you hear me?
Carl, say something?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
He said you reset it. He thought he.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean. I'm
Testing,
seeing
1,
it
2,
come
3, 4.
across Where he's speaking, I can see it's bouncing from me, but there's no one.
All right, Carl, we're gonna get you on the speakerphone.
Okay.
And those. I understand both those answers completely. So
And the other thing too, as far as if the architect designed, let's say that smoke control system, you'd probably get a better price on it because he would have everything, detailed on his drawings of what he wanted to price. Basically, what happened here is, your HVAC contractor came up with something on his end to price that. Then you have plumbing and electrical that go along with it, which they didn't even price at bid time. So if you had a complete design from an architect engineer, you'd probably get a better price than shooting in the dark and throwing, which we didn't do. Satterfield did.
okay.
All right, we got you on speakerphone. Okay, Carl can hear us, but
Okay.
can't talk to us, so he's on speakerphone. Carl Griffin. For the record.
Hey,
And y'all had completion at 280 days, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And did you have any comment in here about the generator?
There was I think a sound control enclosure. We said if you deleted that, you'd save $100,000.
Okay.
And we had a couple of the suggestions too.
Yeah, you did. Those are all here. You listed, actually 1, 3, 4. I think it's 1, 3, 4. So,
It's something we may be not getting credited for when the VE changes, if y'all were to accept them. When this thing first bid, we actually offered a lot of VE changes, about $1 million worth to the
Correct.
county, which they didn't do. They want to rebid it, which is fine.
Right.
But a lot of those changes were incorporated, our suggestions were incorporated in these bid drawings this last time. So I'm not showing credit for that on that particular VE items that we listed voluntarily, but we did, have input in the redesign. They took our suggestions and put them in their drawings. And that's kind of what we wish would have happened with the HVAC design, which is often 3, and the smoke control system, which is often 2. If they would have incorporated in the drawing, showed the information we needed, we could have gave a firm price on that.
and I'll agree with you that our A&E group should have provided that. So in detailed completion. Carl,
Yes, sir.
did we get clarification on the visitation center?
Yes,
Do
sir.
we have to have that or not?
The sheriff would like it in there unless he's checked. I'll let the sheriff answer that. That's
So I will tell you that here's what I don't know. I don't know what the dollar amount is, so I'll let y'all identify that. But we can probably do without it if we want to dedicate an employee to traversing back and forth. My problem is you all know, because you've heard me speak of it, we're having a difficult time hiring employees. You all have given me positions to hire, but we're having a difficult time filling those positions. For the cost of an employee, I feel like we can put that visitation in there. And it really isn't about the visitation of the families. I don't want you to think that I don't think the families are important, but they are. But we can schedule those. What I can't schedule is attorney visits. And so when the attorneys show up and want to meet with their client, we have to completely disrupt standard jail operations by trying to find that one of our personnel to transport them over to where they can have that attorney.
You're talking about over to the visitation at the current jail. Yeah.
Instead of them being able to meet and do that attorney visit at the female facility.
Yeah, because sometimes when the attorneys come in there, it's to get those folks let out and get out of jail. So.
Correct. So that for that reason, if we can, but I don't know what the dollar amount is, so you all have to kind of gauge, but that's my feel is if it's less than $100,000, I would rather have it.
Well,
versus trying
So it's just, so it's just north of 50,000 for both contractors. So that's,
I
to me,
would
that just reduces exposure and everything else. For
Yeah, so we leave it in.
less personnel if we can.
We'll leave that in.
Okay.
That's a no brainer. I just wanted some clarity on where we was at on that. So,
Just keep it here. Keep it in there.
all right, Charlie, I appreciate that. Myself, I don't have any more questions, I think, right now.
Okay.
This conversation creates more.
All right.
Commissioner.
If S&P wants to answer the same questions that he had get that opportunity.
They're fixing to get the same question.
Okay, awesome. You're the man. Thank you.
Commissioner
Yes, sir.
Hammonds, I just wanted, okay. In your letter, you asked HOK about the requirement, why they didn't design an air conditioned system, a DX split system like I'd recommended. And they said TCJS was one of the reasons, and that is not true. I
Okay.
called the director and he says he only requires temperatures and for the smoke evacuation system to work. So the other is, we also have to make sure the smoke evacuation system works. So that answers your question about smoke evac.
Yes,
It
sir. it
has
does.
to-
Okay.
We can use a DX split system.
And that was considerably less than the RTU.
Yes, sir. The one thing, after you ask them both, I have one other question is how much is each vendor willing to give back if we value engineer other items out of this project? What percentage will they give the county back and what percentage will they keep?
Can y'all hear Carl, okay? One of y'all.
Well, I
John?
guess Charlie came up first, so yeah, go ahead and round that out.
All right, we'll ask S&P first. Come up, John, if you would.
Am I answering the question on the
I'll
table
let
now?
you answer Carl's question first. So,
So as far as any additional savings from value engineering, 100% of the savings would go back to the county.
so you had in here, you come up with $84,000 for the smoke evac system. So I guess I'm curious how y'all come up with that number if we're not sure exactly what we're supposed to have.
That is an educated guess that we would stand by because we submitted the numbers. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think everyone who's ever been a passerby in this business understands ambiguity adds cost.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
No, not any doubt.
more so than not.
And also y'all had 420 days completion time, which is considerable amount.
well, two things drove that, I'd say. One being conservative and not promising something we couldn't deliver, but two, Sheriff just talking about the generator. And for us, I think it was a 53 week lead time for the generator. If the generator set aside, or if the generator is able to be a temporary, and that drops off, schedule comes way down. So we had accounted for, I suppose, worst case scenario when it comes to the equipment and deliveries.
For the generator itself.
Yeah, and we talked about leasing a generator, renting a generator that we can get.
So if we don't have to wait for a brand new, fresh off the line generator,
Can you give us a day that you feel comfortable with, a number of days? Because I was contacted by the Geoscience director today, wanting to know when we could commit to being in that building.
okay?
And I
Yeah,
told him
so
the
we-
court was going to vote on the contractor today.
I think we've got to vote on the contractor today. Further, Gale Commission.
So Carl, if I understand the question is post bid, or maybe almost in parallel, we have been looking for ways to reduce the number of days, understanding the need for the county to get in as quickly as possible. With the generator and with perhaps being able to consider more of a commercial system, HVAC system, we are comfortable with, and I'm trying to remember if I have it written down, between 240 and 250 days.
Are you committing that you will design a smoke evacuation air conditioned system for this if HOK does not provide it shortly?
I think that's the only thing we can do. Yes.
Thank you.
Are they working on that, Carl?
No, sir, they're not. No, they're not. But if we got 240 or 50 days and one contractor, and hopefully he'll come back up and speak, but if he can't design it, I don't want to get caught in a switch where HOK won't design it, he won't design it, and I know that the lead time on those RTUs are down to, I think, 40 weeks, but that's just pushing it. And the DX split system, from what the guy that does work for me, and I think Charlie said in the bid meeting that he's done work for them. I know several contractors use him. Has told me that he thinks it could save as much as $300,000 by doing the DX split system.
So we just need
somebody that's going to commit to design that with Smoky back. Because I'm scared HOK's not going to do it. I've been asking them to do it for months.
Okay, so I think that's a separate conversation. Be honest with you. With HOK. They need to be doing their part, so. But I think we need to take that up with them, so.
Have they already charged us for designing it, or not?
We're,
Where are we on paying them money?
I don't know if I can answer that question, to be honest with you.
I'm asking what we paying, what the contract pay.
Pretty close.
We're close within $10,000 or $15,000, and but I'm hearing here is this design of a certain type of a smoky vac is a lot more than that, and I guess we still have to design also something up the HVAC or whatever else that you had mentioned and SVP had mentioned. So what I'm getting at is
Turn that mic on, please.
So what I'm getting at is we've almost, I got it, thank you, sir. We've almost used the budgeted money we had for them on this project.
Okay, well, I'm just not comfortable with them. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get them. I don't think HOK's gonna get designed for it.
They sent Commissioner Hammonds a letter today saying why they couldn't use that system, which is not true.
Okay.
So I don't think they're going to get it done either.
So you might have said it, but what about the jail commission on using that system?
The jail commission said it was no problem at all, as long as we met their standards of temperature for the inmates.
Well, that's what we got an answer to. Yeah. Not HOK. Yeah, you're totally right.
Okay. You know, I still think that the issues with HOK are a separate conversation.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there, Commissioner, but I mean, we've got to make a decision on this women's facility today.
They're named that.
I mean, today. So I mean, that's my issue with HOK. Charlie, come on.
I just want to say something as far as, getting us at Satterfield to get an engineer to design the HVAC. That may be a problem because there's an engineer stamp on those drawings right now. And they may not be willing to, and HOK may not be willing to as well, basically share that stamp. They're coming in and you've already got a stamp set of drawings that are designed for the electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So you may have to VE the thing, give these VE changes to the architect and say, hey, you got to get your engineer, look at this.
Right.
And he's got to stamp it.
Right.
That's how you got to do it. Because I don't know that if you can get an engineer who's going to be willing to put his stamp on another architect and engineer's drawings. And I don't know if HOK allow that as well, like I said, so.
I think HOK needs to be called after this.
Well, I understand they're available now.
What?
But I understand they're available.
I think that might not be a bad call. And the reason that bothers me is because myself, Carl, or anybody who's been in the jail world knows that the standard is 65 degrees to 85 degrees. It doesn't matter to me how you get 65 to 85, as long as you get it there and it can stay in that range. And when we ask them to value engineer it, they should value engineer it. These gentlemen shouldn't have to be the ones to value engineer it.
Judge, I'm gonna call them. Off the phone. They didn't want to call. HOK. Kurt.
Kurt.
Kurt or Jay?
Kurt.
Jay.
Forward the link to them,
Okay.
but if you want to call and let them know.
Jay said they were voting, I would get to that, he said that they need some,
Yeah. I'm on board.
Commissioner Hammond,
Yes, sir.
I had that deal you had for NET. Do you, what do you have on S and P?
Oh.
Just a little short.
Yeah, I just pulled their, basically just pulled their bid package.
Okay, can I get a copy of that if you don't mind?
Yeah, for some reason it wasn't attached to the original email that George sent and he resent it separately. He did, he sent it separately.
I get more copy. I don't have one. Lauren can make a copy, please. Buy your computer and you don't bring it.
How many?
And the Rams leave.
How many? Wait, what is that? No, that's not what he wants.
Yeah, that's what he wants. That's what he wants. Get Rams make. Tommy's looking here. Make, please, couple copies. I look over that. Yeah, no, I'll look over the other. I just want to see what these. Over here, if you don't mind, please. Everybody got the Christmas shopping done?
Christmas?
Yeah,
When's Christmas?
yeah, right?
I'll go when you
One thing, I'll be celebrating the 26th.
Lauren, just send him the link. I told him. You were saying, let's look for it.
Thank you, sir. There's a.
I had, yeah. Here. Thank you, Mike.
If this could be on this earlier, let me give you the exact numbers. So the contract with Williamsville to be designed by HOK was $218,928. To date, we have spent $172,000 and there's $46,928 left off that contract.
Well, let's get them moving on it.
Got 42,000 left, you
Yes, sir. 48.
48?
Yes, sir. Sorry, 46,928. 46,928. I can't see it.
No, you're good.
You sure? Cause that says additional services.
What he sent me is the actual.
Okay,
contract.
218, yeah.
Yes, sir.
43 remaining.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then 172 up to date, we paid them, and then there's like the 46,928 of that contract.
And we're needing smoke system design and AC system design.
Need an
Yeah, they
alternate.
should work together. They should work together in that system.
Okay.
Well, that might be. Dual system and
Right now, we're only talking about the smoke evac in the HVAC system, but there could be some other things in there that either one of these contractors could value engineer out.
Remember, other,
Brought it back.
And I would fully expect that. from-
Yeah, I mean, that goes down all the time. Architects put it out and it's valued engineered after the bid is awarded. I mean, we're trying to, in some cases right here, we've got the cart before the horse.
Would y'all ask NNT the question about how much of the value engineering is he gonna give back to the county?
Charlie, come on, please.
Well, it'd be, 100%. I mean, we, were able to value engineer near the HVAC system and save 200,000. That's what we're going to give back to the county. So, we'll give back. I mean, we're trying to get you to the budget and I know y'all are quite a ways away from there. But yes, we'll give everything back.
You hear that, Carl?
Both,
Yeah, that helps.
both of them are gonna give 100% back.
No, that's great. That's fantastic.
I heard, I know you're
I would like,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
now, the other question, how would John from S and P get the engineering stamp on the air condition and smoke and evacuation?
Don.
Yeah, well, I think what I heard is not true. That to get a stamp, you're gonna have to do some wrestling. But we would bring an engineered set, and ideally, HOK would accept that as part of a value engineered set. If not, we could do that as a design build separately on our own for that amount of money.
Commissioners, it's echoing so bad into my phone, but I want you to know, do not count on HOK re-engineering this. They have fought me for 6 months on doing this. And Commissioner Hammonds can tell you, the sheriff can tell you, Todd, they know I've been talking about it for months, and it's a lot of money.
So they said why? They wouldn't
They wrote, Commissioner Hammonds, read that letter to them. Read that letter to them, that part of it. It's echoing in my ears, so.
We hear you good though, Carl. That's what counts.
loud and clear.
Okay,
So George, if we award a bid today to one of these contractors, and they take it on them to do this design for us, on the smoke and the AC, this money left over right here stays with us. We're done, is that okay?
On HOK,
Yeah, on the design on this facility.
unless there's any outstanding invoices they haven't sent us, but up to now, we paid everything they've sent us.
Okay.
And they sent us a 3 or 4 here last week.
Okay.
And again, remember 2 projects with them, so we need to make sure those have.
Yeah, no, yeah, the women's facility.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Commissioner, I won't say, but one of the contractors here has, one of their planners, engineers, designers has been contacting me regularly through the last couple of weeks, just trying to continue to value engineer it. So I know there's additional value engineering. Just what was given by HOK didn't have as much value engineering as it still could have had. So I know there's additional engineering that I'm sure both contractors can do, because one of the contractors has been asking questions about whether does this meet the standards? We don't want to do something outside of the standards. So like I say, I know there's additional to be found.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, Commissioner Hammond, I was just trying to fill airtime there.
Understand? So,
I think the other thing to, if Charlie wants to comment on that engineering on the air conditioner, because to me, if he can't, then S&P would be my recommendation, because we can't wait for HOK. The jail standard is gonna come down on the county.
They already are, aren't they? According to
Yeah,
Sheriff.
they told me today, and I told him we were voting on it today.
We're on a time constraint, big time, Carl.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason they're not on us is because of Commissioner Carl Griffith, County Judge Griffith. I mean, honestly, he's holding them off of us. Okay, so
We're doing,
Just telling them what we're doing all the time. I want them to know we're trying all our best. I can't keep you out of trouble. I can give them the information that we're doing, and that's the biggest issue.
He's giving himself some credit there, okay?
I got you, Sharon. Thank you, Sharon.
So I believe this court.
Yeah, I have all the confidence in the world in you, Carl, and appreciate your efforts.
I believe this court's gonna have to address HOK's lack of
Well,
being connected to this
Performance.
project soon.
Hey, let me see, Lauren may have given me guidance. Is it working now? Is that better?
Yes, that's
Okay, it's not echoing so bad on me, so.
Okay, good.
Good call, Lauren, thank you.
But we can hear you fine still.
Is it okay, text that? Or do I need to text one?
I text Kurt, you may try one of the other ones for him.
They're probably watching, they don't want.
Kurt left our call this morning to get on the plane this week. He said to us when he got off the call.
Oh, hell, he's probably still on the plane.
The sheriff and I, others.
You wanna get Jay?
Yeah.
But we can still move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think,
Well, we may have to.
Yeah, I think we're wasting minutes with waiting on HOK getting on the line with an airplane deal.
I think if we don't have any further questions. Or when we don't have any further questions for these two guys, I want to go to executive session.
Okay, yeah, the attorney's here. Ashley's joining us in executive session.
Respond to Judge Griffin.
If you'd like to, come on up.
As far as engineer.
Yes, sir, please.
For me to engineer that.
And kind of, if you want to respond to that and anything else you want to say, then we'll get John and then we'll go to the executive.
I said earlier about the engineer may not want to, put his stamp on the drawings that has already been engineered and designed. Now, I can go out there and see, talk to an engineer. And, what we'd have to do if we redesigned it, I would have to give you a deduct back for, value engineer, but I'd have to add professional liability insurance. Now, they already have that. They're a big company. They've got it for the CMAR. They've got all that in place. So I'd have to get, professional liability insurance. And, maybe since, S&P matched my days on my contract, maybe he'll let me use his engineer.
You're a class act.
Hi, John.
And we appreciate you around here.
That's the season, give until it hurts. What I would say is, it's not as clear as it should be. And typically in this world, people throw money at lack of clarity, as I kind of said before. Along with our base bid, to which we tried to be 100% compliant and maybe even a little conservative, we did include, I think as we did in the first bid, value engineering considerations and at least ranges of numbers that we thought could come out of those options. We have not stopped looking at that because we understand the importance to the county, and Commissioner Hammond had convened a value engineering meeting after the first bid, and there were, I wasn't in the room, but the report I got was a lot of good ideas that didn't seem to make it into this set necessarily. But there is opportunity there. That's why we included some of those as options. And just for the clarity, I did confirm a moment ago, we are at 240 days.
If whoever's awarded this contract with the value engineering and your setup time, when did y'all start? When would you start?
If the county said go, what day would that be?
So if they approve today, we would start working with a contract with our lawyers, and I know it's the holidays, but hopefully first week of January, we have something.
Okay, so in my head, the first thing I was thinking is it's 30 days from the day we'd be hot and heavy, and we can work to improve that if we can at all.
I'm back to the days.
Class act.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
I do.
Good.
Carl, anything else for go? We're gonna get.
We've got everything out there. Critical path, that air conditioning system is a huge deal, as I've said, with the smoke evac, and I think it's worth over $300,000 for the county. And I do know there's multiple other things that we can do to change that. They failed to listen to us when we went through the work on it. So if we can just go through a value engineering, I'm gonna give my time to whoever you award the bid to. But don't count on HO, please do not vote and think HOK is gonna do this, because it won't happen.
Okay, I'm sure the commissioner is gonna want you on executive session call. So if you're still available, we'll call you back in a few minutes. All right, with that, 2:45 PM, we will recess to executive session. We'll recess. So you four guys All right, for coming order after executive session, it's now 3:15 PM. We only have the one item to discuss, consider awarding bid of temporary women's dormitory facility. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve S and P as the contractor, or the contractor to be awarded on the job project.
Okay.
Yeah, I can second that.
I got a motion by Commissioner Ty, second by Commissioner Gore. Questions, comments? Those in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 2-1. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. All right, with that, 3:16 PM, we are adjourned.